This project is kind of my work of art. The windmill is a tie to my hometown where I grew up, Argyle, Wisconsin. The windmill comes from growing up around windmills and driving down the road and seeing sunsets with the windmill majestically shadowed in the sunset. So I said, yeah, I'd like to have a windmill on the farm. I started looking at old historic windmills, railroad windmills and farm windmills and working windmills. So when we did the plans, I included drilling a separate well so that the windmill would be a working well. Not that I'm an ecologist or an environmentalist or a greenie. I believe in doing things that make financial sense. It costs no money to run my windmill. That makes sense to me. It produces the water to feed the ponds that we're developing. Mark's art built the waterfall from the windmill down to the first pond. And we'll raise koi or goldfish or crawfish, crayfish in that pond, possibly in the next. I'd like the next pond to be a place where people could bring kids in bass fish or perch fish. Originally I wanted to do a trout pond and have running water from the windmill to the end and then recycle it back. But I can't, we're so low to the ground here of ground level or sea level that I couldn't get the depth of the pond to sustain the trout in the summertime. I found a sketch or picture online of a windmill that I liked after looking at hundreds or thousands of them. And I posted an ad on Craigslist. It said, looking for a retired military carpenter. Can you build me this? And to my shock, I had several responses. Interviewed some people, and one of the people, John, long flowing ponytail, ex-military retired carpenter, he had made a model of the windmill. So the windmill really is a work of art, extraordinarily expensive. I made hundreds of gallons of coffee at night. I had 2 coffee pots, so 2 coffee pots at a time. It's all made with Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and probably did 250 to 500 gallons of coffee, I don't know, to hand stain all the white cedar that's in the windmill and throughout the house. Literally hundreds, if not thousands of hours of work, hand work. So the banner on the windmill, growing up, there were a number of companies that made windmills, and Air Motor out of Texas used to be Air Motor out of Chicago. Air Motor is now the only surviving American company that's still making windmills. And the windmill is, I believe, about 30-some feet tall. I wish that in hindsight we would have built it a little taller, because sometimes the wind swirls around the house and blocks the windmill. The windmill is capable in a 10-knot wind of generating 750 gallons of water a day for free out of the ground. The windmill, when it's no wind, we can supplement the windmill with one of the pumps that we have so that we're never without water for the ponds. And rain fills them. We're extraordinarily late this year in our winter or fall rains, and it's very dry here on the Eastern Shore. We're grateful because it allowed us the time to get our work done. But now the pond would probably be twice the size that it is right now with floodwater from the rains. The windmill is designed so that the fan and the tail collapse when the winds get to 40-mile-an-hour gusts, so that it's a safety feature to keep the wind from tipping the windmill over or breaking the equipment. And the barrel, originally they would have had wood barrels on windmills. We put a 750-gallon plastic safe container inside of it, so the windmill flows first into that container and then it overflows out into the spillway or the waterfall. Ours is functional in the sense that it provides the water to maintain the ponds. And it's decorative and a piece of art in the sense that it's a piece of history.